Okay, Juliet, it's Daddy here again, and this is going to read you the email that your mother sent me on January 17th. By this time, the school has informed your mother that I have been calling them, and I'm not sure that she realizes that I went through the channels I did, and even if the school had said no to me, I could have gone to the school's supervisor, who's in charge, ahead of them, the principal and them, and complained, and also filed a civil rights action as well. But I didn't have to do that because the school complied with me. They were had no problem with it. I'm sure they wanted to inform your mother, and I can't blame them for that. They want to keep the parents informed. But what they don't want to do is they don't want to get in the middle of a family squabble. And like all my emails, I also emphasize that. I'm saying, I'm sorry to burden you with this. I'm sorry. I'm sure that you deal with this a lot of the times. But let me leave time to very slowly and clearly read you the last email your mother sent me, okay, which was at least 6 weeks ago. I'm not sure why I'm writing you. All right, that's a strange way to start it. You don't really seem to care what I write, but rather you look for words to entrap me and ways to put me down. I don't know what she's talking about. All right. I guess you are still calling the school to get info on Juliet. I guess you joined the PTA. I'm not sure of your motive to be involved in the school unless you want to frighten Juliet. See, this is called a straw man argument. This is like creating a reason for me doing something that has absolutely nothing to do with why I'm doing it. All right, and a straw man argument is something that just burns up very quickly because it is a false argument made of straw. It doesn't have any weight to it. All right, back to the email. Right now, I'm willing to update you. That's interesting. By law, she's supposed to. And I have not contacted any lawyers over this yet. I say yet, but, she sounds like she's doing me a favor. She's in strong depression. We hoped Lamisil would have longer-lasting good results, but they seem to have faded. We see her MD soon to ask about new meds, okay? All right, good. No talk about a psychiatrist this time. We see her talk therapist for strategies on activities of daily living. Well, Juliet, that's what I did with you for the 3 years that you were here. I tried to teach you the strategies of daily living. In fact, that last time where I supposedly called you a name, that was a lesson on daily living. But anyway, back to the email. Juliet has trauma she experienced from her time with you. Once again, that's just an accusation that has no basis in the truth whatsoever. That's just another, that's what you call it, an accusation based on nothing. All right. Well, she's no stranger to that. Back to the email. She has low self-esteem, and she still hears words like retarded, useless, stupid. Now, I don't remember what exactly the word was I used. I think it could have been retarded, like, come on, you know better, you're not retarded or something. But she throws in useless and stupid. Well, who's calling her useless and stupid? Not me. I never said those words. It's like she's, she's done this before. This is called stacking the pancake. The pancake has nothing, then you put the butter and you put some fruit. It's like she's just stacking the pancake to make it seem worse. Back to the email. She is hypersensitive to anger directed at her by her teachers when she hasn't turned in her assignments, and even when I get angry because I drop something and make a mess. She hears it as rage against her. She feels it is something much worse than it is. She has been able to articulate that more and more. Okay, stopping the email. If that is what she is saying, then how on earth can she blame me for getting angry and causing you distress if you're doing the same thing. And you're 2 years down the line of knowing better. I didn't know as well as I should have at the time that maybe I yelled or I got angry. You're 2 years the wiser for it. Your mother is, and that's this most incredible thing that she says, because it's so self-incriminating, and it really takes me off the hook. I told Juliet, back to the email, I told Juliet you like to help her overcome her problems and work with us as a team. She said that's ironic. She feels bad about herself after spending time with you in her teen years. Okay, Juliet, first of all, you don't know what ironic means. And second of all, this is your mother talking. This is not you talking. She is putting words in your mouth. This is what I feel. Can't prove it, but, I know you well enough to do that. This is not a sentence that comes out of your mouth. Needless to say that when kids are most vulnerable, so your attempts to get a reaction from her caused her to internalize the negative words and actions. Okay, this is over 2 years ago. All right? Over 2 years ago. Over 2 years of me suffering, not seeing my child, never getting that time back. Once the time is lost, it's gone forever. And she is just it's called gaslighting me. It's the term when you just keep blaming somebody and making them be the bad person. It's called gaslight. So back to the email. Just so you know, I talked to her about things we did together in our travels, our careers, our time at music venues around the world. I do not harp on negative stuff. I try to let her see good images so it's not all bad stuff, such as getting thrown out or whatever went on to make her choose to be a selective mute. Tell your mother you didn't choose to be a selective mute. It's part of the symptoms of what you have. And this comes from the fact that your mother has every photo and video of every vacation we took together, and she never gave me a copy of anything. And I said to her, we have a story to tell this child of our adventures in life. This could be such a good, positive thing if we were able to get together and be supportive together for her. That was in an email I probably haven't read yet. Back to the email. And meanwhile, I don't care that you deride me, call me names, blame me, because I'm willing to protect Juliet. It's been over 2 years. Where have I derided her? Where have I called her a name? Where have I blamed her? She didn't talk to me for the first 6 months, and it's gaslighting once again. But back to the email. But I would like you to back off school. Now listen to this. Listen to this very carefully, Juliet, and whoever's listening. I would like you to back off the school. It feels like a threat from you. If we don't feel safe, I would have to seek a new stay-away order. Juliet may not graduate on time. There is a possibility she will take medical leave and get day treatment for depression. It's hard for me to want to share any information with you when you pick apart and criticize it. Show me, I'm going to read all the emails, and all the emails are going to be on here. I'm going to let you and anyone who reads these be the judge if I am picking apart her emails. Okay? And criticizing them. This is just not true. It's not in mind. If you are still getting therapy, kudos to you. If and when Juliet gets a place where she's willing to write or talk to you, it would be celebrated, but it seems to be ways off, if not impossible. I don't always hate you. I'd like to be able to communicate better and more frequently, but you don't accept an unconditional communication. I don't know what the hell that means. What the hell does unconditional communication mean? You need to pick it apart and criticize it so it becomes a dislike of, I would like to be able to, you know what? Everything that she's accusing me of, she is, she is, what's the word I'm looking for? She's the one that is doing it. She's accusing me of things that she does. And that is part of this covert narcissistic personality disorder. Okay? Can't you stop with the school interference and intimidation? Intimidation? Intimidation, okay? Explain that to me. Interference and imitation. I'm not interfering in imitation, I'm trying to help. I would be willing, I'm at a candlelight vigil for kids that got shot in Florida. That's interference and imitation? Intimidation? Okay. I would like to be willing to update you once every other week or something like that. It's a thought. Lots of snow today, what a drag. She ends up something like that. She, by law, is supposed to update me on everything that goes on with your health and welfare in school. It's the law. And by now, I have come to realize that she has this disorder called covert narcissism. And I'm going to read you all of the symptoms of it. And when I've studied it now, this all makes sense. This all makes sense because when they talk about it, it's so powerful that there's a point at which I think that they're not talking about themselves anymore, that they know me and they are talking about what I went through. All right? I'm suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, and I'm seeing a therapist to try and recover from what your mother did to me. And I'm still very damaged by it. All right? I want to see you again, but writing your mother is over. They told me to do that. They said you never respond to any of these emails ever again. And only the way I would do it if she would concede to sit down and work out a plan where I would get to see you. Anything other short of that is there will be no response. And if she takes me back to court, she's not going to. And when you turn 18, that is very close. And when that day comes, you're going to have to file the thing. You're going to have to go on the witness stand. You're going to have to go in front of the judge. So you're an adult then. She can't do it anymore. So the window for her doing this is closing. And I don't think she's going to do it because I don't think she has, pardon my language, a rat's ass chance in hell of winning when I show these emails. I'm smart enough to know what not to do. And even if it means not seeing you, I'm not going to ambush you somewhere or doing something. And if Lori's family are thinking about this, I don't want to say bad things about Lori, but when you hear the full evidence of what she did to me, it's unconscionable, it's immoral, it's unforgivable. And she didn't have to do it. And I tried to the 11th hour, the 11:59, to give her a chance to do the right thing. And now you're going to hear some pretty interesting emails. if you don't think this was bad, wait to hear the rest of them. Love you, Juliet. Bye.